One of the strongest liberal critics of this tax compromise, Democratic Congressman Anthony Weiner of New York, joins us now from Capitol Hill. Good morning, sir.
Good morning, Harry.
You have long been opposed to this, and in the end of the day, you just decided to just say no. Why?
Well, for a couple of reasons. First, you reported on the Deficit Commission's work, the drowning in red ink that we're all doing. Well, in one vote yesterday, we gobbled up all of the savings, even if we had done all of that deficit reduction. We simply can't afford it, especially when you consider that a lot of the tax cuts we're giving literally are to millionaires and billionaires. Secondly, the payroll holiday, this thing we've heard so much about, if you look carefully at it, they borrow the money for that from the Social Security Trust Fund, which is a very, very bad precedent. Overall, this was just not a very good deal for the American people, especially for the middle class and those struggling to make it.
How odd does it feel to you to find yourself on the same side as some of the deficit hawks?
Well, first of all, I've always considered myself a fiscally responsible person. I mean, simply don't believe that someone who makes $1 million should get a $116,000 tax cut for Christmas. I simply don't believe that they mean it, that they need it. Today in America, 1%, the top 1% of the country makes as much as the next 25%. We need to stand up for the middle class. I think the very well-to-do have already had their piece.
What do you think this bodes for the president and for the new Congress that comes into office in January?
I think it's bad. Well, first of all, I think it's bad because, as Nancy said in the intro, these tax cuts are going to expire in 2 years, which is another election year. And I can guarantee you there's going to be an enormous amount of pressure on Congress again to say, you know what, it's an election year, let's renew these tax cuts, maybe even make them permanent. If we do that, that would truly be ruinous. It would triple our national debt. And I also think it's problematic because the Republicans turned out to be, frankly, better poker players than the president. They only really wanted two things this legislative session, and they got them both. And that was the increase of the estate tax and the increase in tax cuts for the very wealthy. They've got it. Now it's just on to the things they want to cut, things like health care and the like.
And as this new Congress comes into office in January, between the left side and the right side of the aisle, which way do you think the president is going to be leaning?
Well, look, I'll leave it to the pundits to figure that out, but I think that the president has to understand that if he reaches out with a finger of bipartisanship, he's going to lose a pound of flesh in what he's going to have to give up. Bipartisanship has to be a means, not an ends, and I'm not sure the president gets that yet, but I'm going to work hard to try to make him a success.
Anthony Weiner, does this sound like the beginning of a challenge to the president's nomination 2 years from now?
But by me? No, but I understand Dave Price will be looking for a job, so maybe. Well, and I just want to tell Dave, that my endorsement's up in the air, so woo me.
All right. Congressman Weiner, thank you so much. Do appreciate it.
You got it. You got it.
All right.